We'll get to all of your high school football action shortly, but first, the Jeff Brom era got underway tonight down in Atlanta as the Cards took on Georgia Tech. The second quarter was not what Brom and Cards fans wanted to see. Tech leading 7-6 in the second quarter when former Card Trey Cooley scores up the middle. It's 14-6, rambling wreck. U of L would answer immediately. Jack Plummer to Kevin Coleman out of the backfield. He makes a guy miss. He gets in from 9 yards out. It's 14-13. Back comes Georgia Tech, and it's Cooley again. This time from 23 yards out. They would add another touchdown just before half. Georgia Tech scores 4 touchdowns in the second quarter. They lead 28-13 at the half. Third quarter, the U of L offense wakes up 28-16 when Plummer throws his second touchdown pass of the night. This one to Jamari Thrash, 28-23. If you liked it that time, you're going to love it here in the fourth. Plummer to Thrash again, this time from 20 yards out. The two-pointer fails. It's 29-28 Cards. Later in the quarter, after a Tech fumble, Jawar Jordan gets loose, breaks a tackle, and he is gone. 74 yards to the house. This game just went final. U of L wins. The Brom era is off to a 1-0 start. They win it 39-34. When we games, including our game of the week, Mail at St. X, as Touchdown Friday night rolls on. Now to week 3 of Touchdown Friday night and our game of the week. These two have played in some classics over the years. Mail versus St. X. The Bulldogs eliminated the Tigers from the playoffs on a 2-point conversion on the game's final play. Last year, tonight, it was the rematch. St. X coach Kevin Wallace said Mail was the most complete team he has seen in 6A this season, but his team would be up for the task. Tied at 3 in the second quarter. Tigers quarterback Trevor Havel buying time, goes deep, and it's Cameron Holloway who makes a leaping catch and takes it the rest of the way. 42 yards for the score. It's 10-3 X. The Tigers defense was stout all night. They may have been the story of the game. Tyler Neal, he comes up with the sack. Fast forward to the fourth quarter. St. X gets some insurance. Logan Zeller drills his second field goal of the night. It's 13-3. Tigers up 20-3 in the fourth when the Dogs finally getting on the board, getting to the end zone. Coach Smith hits Max Gainey, who takes it in for 6, but it's not enough. St. X wins 20-10. They beat Mayo for the second straight year in the regular season. Head coach Kevin Wallace was proud of his senior quarterback.
Trevor Havel played great. Did some wonderful things in the pocket, extending plays where he could still throw the ball. Totally different guy than what he was last week. He struggled against Central, and he's had such a great summer and gotten so much better, and his leadership's gotten better. I'm really happy for him that he could have this kind of night on this kind of stage.
St. X's biggest rival, Trinity, on the road in Indianapolis, taking on Center Grove. Opening drive of the third quarter, Rylan Cook gets outside, breaks a tackle, and is in for the touchdown. Trojans led 14-0. Next Center Grove possession off the play action. Tyler Cherry airs it out, and Noah Coy makes the catch for another touchdown. Trojans score on their first 4 drives of the second half. They win it 34-7. Trinity has lost 2 straight. Manual making the trip up 71 to Cincinnati to take on Taft. They put on a show. Elijah Creech looks deep for Willis Knopsinger. He makes the catch. He scores. Touchdown Crimsons. Later, Taft driving, but Manuel's Aiden Blakely ends the drive with the interception. He gets a good return here. Then later, his teammate, Jerry and Trainer, carries it in for another Manuel touchdown. The Crimson go on the road, and they win 24-8. They are now 3-0. Ballard looking to bounce back from that Mayo loss last week, hosting PRP, who knocked out defending champs Bullet East last week. First play of the game, the Bruins' Larry Irvin's pass is picked off. I would say his name, but PRP has to put numbers on the roster on khsa.org. Get that done. Still scoreless when Ballard gets rolling. Journey Weiss takes the handoff and goes exploring. 45 yards on the run. It's 7-0 Ballard on their next possession. Irvin makes up for his earlier mistake. He goes up top to Maurice Stevens, who is wide open for the score. Ballard wins 49-22. They're now 2-1. PRP falls to 1-2. Marvin Dantzler and Central looking for their first win of the season, hosting Butler. They're always playing up in competition. 6-0 Jackets in the second when the Bears' Aiden Clemens looks deep, but Central's Avion Johnson McNeil picks it off, and he carries it deep into Butler territory. A few plays later, Steven Smith back to pass, and he finds a buddy with the same last name, Kevon Smith, for the touchdown. Central wins big 34-0, their first win of the season. Dusty is in Atlanta covering the Cards, but I do have a little help covering all these games, giving a standing ovation to Brandon Spencer making his touchdown Friday night debut. What up, Brandon?
Hey, what up, Kendrick? I got some big shoes to fill, but I'm pretty sure I can keep up to the task. Now, Kentucky Country Day has been steadily building into a powerhouse. Tonight, they hit the road at DeSales. But that didn't stop DeSales from throwing the first punch. Midway through the first, senior quarterback Peyton Mulder drops back to pass and throws a laser to Devon Martin Jr., and he snags it in the end zone to give the Colts an early 7-0 lead, but the Bearcats would respond. Early in the second quarter, you would check out E.T. Harris as he fakes me out the frame, and he rolls out to find his big receiver, Nehemiah Brown Hamlin, who bullies his way into the end zone to tie the game at 7-all. And this will be a back and forth affair as it goes down to the wire, but Kentucky Country Day would come out on top 24-23 in a thriller in overtime to stay undefeated on the season. Now, we head over to North Bullitt, where they look to get a win in their new stadium against cross-time rival Bullitt East. We'll start you off in the second quarter with the Eagles down 20-6. Watch the quarterback avoid the sack and find Landon Hamrick, who does the rest. He scurries into the end zone for 6. They convert the 2-point conversion to cut the lead to 20-14, but the Chargers would respond. Next possession, the Chargers quarterback, he drops back to pass, and he throws a beautiful bomb. Watch how this ball floats in the air to number 4 into the end zone to extend the lead 26-14, and the Chargers would continue to pull away in that second half, actually winning the game 59-14. Next week, it is Bullitt East's turn to debut their new stadium when they host Bullitt Central. Kendrick?
Thanks, Brendan. Over on the sunny side, we had a couple of teams trying to get back over 500 in Week 3 as Silver Creek traveled to Floyd Central. The Dragons down big late, but they're still fighting. Keenan Ward rolls out, buys some time, and he finds a wide-open Bryce Henderson for the touchdown. It's 49-21 Floyd Central. The Highlanders answer. Isaac Kaiser on the end around. He finds the end zone. Floyd Central picks up a big win, 56-28. The cheerleaders were getting a workout at Charlestown as they hosted Clarksville, a high-scoring affair over there tonight. Pirates quarterback Clay McClellan keeps it himself, finds some room, somehow doesn't go down here, just debo's his way into the end zone for the touchdown. PAT fails. It's 6-0 Charlestown. Still first quarter. Jaden Berkeley on the end around. End arounds are big over in Indiana, apparently. He has some speed. He finds the end zone. Charlestown wins big 53-20 to move to 2-1. Now time for our Touchdown Friday Night Player of the Week presented by Furniture Fair. North Odom wide receiver Dawson Nagel had 102 yards receiving as well as 64 yards rushing and scored 3 touchdowns. He also recorded 9 tackles in a 33-28 win over the Sales. The new poll goes up on Sunday night. Our Beer Nose delivery of the week comes from PRP at Ballard. Larry Irvin up top to Maury Stevens for the touchdown. Good for the Beer Nose delivery of the week. On to the college football guys now. Year 11 under Mark Stoops kicks off at noon at Kroger Field as the Cats host Ball State out of the MAC. The Cats have a ton of new faces on the roster, especially on offense. Head coach Mark Stoops is just looking for the offense to limit the mistakes.
In game 1, you're just looking clean, and I know that's pretty broad-based right there, right? That can entail a lot. But taking care of the football first and foremost.
No disrespect to Georgia Tech or Ball State, but the Hoosiers have by far the most difficult matchup of our local teams to open the season, hosting number 3 Ohio State.
I think when you prepare for and get a chance to play against the very, very best, I mean, that's number one, it's why you come here, Number 2, I think it really accelerates your growth. I really do.
UK kicks off at noon. IU hosting Ohio State is at 3:30. Dusty Baker will have a full wrap of that U of L game on Sunrise in the morning. You have a great night, and thank you for watching Touchdown Friday Night.